Hey everyone, welcome to the webcast on the 4 styles of parenting and teaching. So the history of these 4 styles, it was a study conducted in the 1960s by Dr. Baumrind. She looked at parental responsiveness and parental demands. And as she studied these families, she further looked at disciplinary strategies, warmth and nurturance, communication styles, and expectations of maturity and control to come up with these 4 styles. Now, she called them the 4 styles of parenting, but these apply to so much more. I first learned about these in a management training. I'm going to take myself off the screen now because we're going to start to get into the styles. But I was in a management training where we reviewed them as 4 styles of a manager. Since then, I've also used this to talk about teaching and 4 styles of the teacher. So let's look at these. The first one is authoritarian. These are strict rules established by parents, teachers, managers. Explanations for the rules are because I said so. They're not really provided. It's just I'm the authority. You do what I say. Punishments are used as incentive to follow rules. Timeouts in parenting and teaching, of course. Timeouts, taking privileges away, etc. And then these parents have high demands and low responsiveness. They want a lot out of children, but they give very little to them. In authoritative, these parents use democratic rules and guidelines that are established for the family. Again, these apply to teachers as well. That nurturing guidance is offered when expectations are not met. They allow children to question and take the child's perspective into consideration when making decisions or changing rules, etc. These parents have a high responsiveness to the child. They also have very high expectations. Next, we'll talk about the permissive style. This is the parent who sees their role as friend rather than parent. They rarely discipline the child. They are non-traditional and very lenient. And they have high responsiveness, but they have little to low demands on children. The last one is involved and neglectful. And I don't want you to confuse this with the neglect that we think of in the social services realm, where a child's overall needs are not met. These parents can be working professionals who can't give as much care and attention to their child because they're so absorbed in their career, as much as they could be a low-income family who is struggling in that realm as well. So it has no tie to class or socioeconomic status. These parents are detached from their child and their child's life. They may or may not provide basic needs. They might reject their children, and they have low responsiveness to the child. They also have low demands. They're just sort of checked out of the child's world. So here we're going to look at these on a scale. Here we have the demands that are put on children, and up here we have the responsiveness by the parents. So as you can see, the authoritarian, that's the bossy parent or teacher, they have a lot of demands and they are minimally responsive. They are not terribly nurturing or adaptive for the child. This authoritative, high demands and high responsiveness, they are meeting the child at their level. Frequently. Neglectful has little demands and little responsiveness, and permissive has little demand and a ton of responsiveness. So, of course, we may naturally gravitate towards one of these styles. In case it's not obvious here, I would argue that the authoritative is the most effective style of parenting, of teaching, of management, of really being in the world, having high expectations on others, but being also very responsive to their needs and how they interact with you. It's really the most engaged style and the most adaptive as you go. So this concludes our screencast on the 4 styles of parenting, teaching, and we'll see you in a future screencast.